it's your girl Chef Rambo. I'm back with another recipe. Today, you guys, I'm gonna be making some blackened salmon with sauteed shrimp and a homemade herb butter cream sauce over asparagus and mashed potatoes, honey. This is my Atlantic salmon, and I also have some white shrimp. I have some white wine, I have extra virgin olive oil, Parmesan cheese, heavy whipping cream, half and half, cream cheese, garlic paste, basil paste. I have some shallots, I have a lemon, I do have an onion, but I didn't end up using it. Garlic powder, onion powder, blackened seasoning, Old Bay seasoning, black pepper, sea salt. I have some russet potatoes, some asparagus, and a little bit of fresh parsley. So let's go ahead and get started, you guys. This recipe was phenomenal. So I'm gonna go ahead and start boiling the water for my mashed potatoes. And what's really cool about garlic mashed potatoes is I actually added 4 cloves of garlic to the water that I'm gonna boil the mashed potatoes in. And honey, this just makes this taste so much better. It kicks it up a notch. You really get that hint of garlic that's like infused in the mashed potatoes because it was boiled with the mashed potatoes. And at the end, we're just gonna drain the water, honey, and we're gonna mash everything up, and that garlic included, okay? So this is gonna be literally one of the best garlic mashed potato recipes you guys have ever had. So after about 45 minutes, they come out nice and hot and steamy, and they look wonderful. And I cut them in half to speed up the cooking process. And honey, like I said, I'm just gonna take my masher and I'm gonna mash everything up, garlic included. We're not gonna remove it. Now I'm gonna add in 1 stick of salted butter, and I'm gonna add in this little 8 ounce of heavy whipping cream, a little bit of salt, and it looks like a lot, but I'm sure it really ain't. A little bit of black pepper, because we gotta make sure our food is seasoned. And I'm gonna add in a little bit of this garlic paste. I'm also gonna add in a little spoonful of cream cheese and a little bit of dried parsley, and honey, them mashed potatoes is done. Let's move on to the asparagus. I went ahead and washed them and cut off a little bit of the ends. Now I'm just gonna add some extra virgin olive oil and a little bit of sea salt and black pepper. You do not have to add in all those extra seasonings to asparagus. The asparagus is the star of the show, honey, so you do not have to add in all those seasonings that take away from who the asparagus is, okay? So a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, salt, pepper, and then just take that asparagus and those seasonings and that oil and just rub everything together so everything is nice and infused with flavor and seasoning, okay? We're not making this difficult. This is an easy, breezy Sunday meal. It does not have to be 4 or 5 hours in the kitchen, y'all. We're doing it the easy way today, okay? It probably took me an hour to make everything, so yeah. After about 25 minutes on 350, that's how our asparagus came out looking. We got our salmon, we got our shrimp, we got shallots, fresh garlic, Parmesan cheese, basil paste, we got our creams, cream cheese, we got lemon, wine, and a little bit of butter, okay? But the first thing is we have to season our salmon. So I started off with a little bit of garlic powder. Now I'm going to add in some onion powder. These two go hand in hand, and I need them in everything I cook, okay? We gotta have that Old Bay if we're using any type of seafood. It's like a must. So I'm adding a little bit of Old Bay. Well, kind of a lot of Old Bay. We gotta have that blackened seasoning. If you guys wanna make your own, you can, but I just got this from Kroger. You don't need a whole lot. You just want to make sure that your fish is covered with the blackened seasoning, because sometimes people only put it in certain spots and then other parts of the fish doesn't get that blackened color. So you want to make sure you're just putting it over the entire piece of salmon. This is optional. If you guys do not like extra salt, you can definitely skip this, but I'm just going to add in a little bit of sea salt and a little bit of black pepper. Okay, we have our olive oil on about probably medium-high heat, okay? But I've had it on for about 5 minutes. So now we're gonna go ahead and put those pieces of salmon up in that thing. And like I always tell people, there's not a right or wrong way to cook salmon, okay? Some people like to put the skin side down. Some people like to put the skin side up, like how I have it. A lot of people like to rip off the skin before they even put it in the pan. What I find easier for me is when I cook the skin, at the end, I can just take it and rip it off and it comes right off, okay? So that's just how I've seen people make it. I've made it where I took the skin off before and it just, I don't know. I just prefer to do it this way. So after about 5 minutes on medium-high heat, your salmon should start to look blackened, as you can see. The inside of the salmon is getting a little bit white, which means it's starting to get cooked. So all I'm doing is flipping everything so that the other side can get nice and blackened as well. So yeah, this looks amazing. Oh my gosh, that is just the cutest blackened thing I've ever seen. And I went ahead and put the same seasonings on my shrimp. So all the seasonings I used before I put on my shrimp, I flipped them after 2 minutes, and look at those blackened shrimp, honey. They looking marvelous. Okay, so I have a little bit, I have a half stick of butter that I'm gonna put in my pan, and I took my shrimp out. Now I'm gonna add in some shallots, and I'm gonna add in some fresh garlic, okay? You don't wanna let the garlic and the shallots cook probably longer than 3 or 4 minutes, only because we do not want the garlic to burn. So I have it on medium-high heat, and I went ahead and put it in the same pan that I cooked my salmon and my shrimp in. So yeah, we don't want that garlic to burn, so just keep stirring it and probably cook it on medium, if not low heat. Okay, after about 3 or 4 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and add in 1 cup of that white wine. And we're gonna take our spoon and just really try to scrape the sides so all of the wine and the shallots and the garlic is all mixed in together with the seasonings. I'm gonna add in a little bit of that garlic paste. Now I'm gonna add in a little bit of that basil paste. I'm gonna take my whisk and start to stir everything up so that everything gets well incorporated. Okay, after 5 minutes, you want to go ahead and start adding your cream, but you want to start adding your heavy whipping cream in increments. So you don't just want to put the whole thing in here. You want to add a little bit and then take your whisk and kind of stir everything up. And then once you get all the whipping cream in there, you can add in a little bit of salt and pepper because we do have to have it seasoned. We don't want a bland tasting herb cream sauce. So yeah, a little bit of salt and pepper is all you need. Nothing fancy. And then I added a couple little drops of lemon juice. And then we're gonna stir everything up. Look at that herb butter cream sauce or herb cream sauce. It looks so dang good and it ain't even done yet. It's not even done yet and it looks this fire. Okay, we finna pop it off with some dried basil. Hey. And now we're gonna go ahead and add that Parmesan cheese. If you guys don't wanna be stupid like me, wait a little later. And I'm gonna add 2 big spoonfuls of cream cheese. I should have turned this off before I added the Parmesan cheese, but it's all good in the hood. It ended up turning out perfect. So yeah, we can go ahead and start putting our shrimp back. They're nice and blackened and they look amazing. We'll start to stir everything up. And we can actually let this sauce go for another maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Or you can do like another couple minutes. I like my shrimp to be nice and tender though. So we're gonna add in a little bit of fresh parsley just specifically for color and appearance. It just makes it look all pretty. Alrighty, it's time to plate up this fancy, delicious meal. So I'm gonna take some of those delicious garlic mashed potatoes that we made, okay? I'm gonna put a nice, delicious piece of blackened, oh no, not the blackened salmon. We're gonna do some of the asparagus, okay? Oh my gosh, I messed up so bad on that word. So I probably have about 6 pieces of asparagus. If you guys wanted, you can cut them a little more, but I like mine like that. And we're gonna go ahead and put that blackened salmon down. That salmon is so perfectly cooked. Look at that. And then we're gonna take some of those shrimps, honey, and we're gonna take some of that that cream sauce, that herb cream sauce, herb butter cream sauce, honey, and we just gonna put it right on top. Look at those shrimp. They are perfectly cooked, but they're not overcooked. That sauce has thickened up a little bit. It looks wonderful. Asparagus is nicely cooked evenly, and those garlic mashed potatoes are phenomenal. This is a meal that you can definitely probably sell plates of. This is a meal that if you were to have at the restaurant, honey, you'd be spending $40, $50, okay? This meal was so delicious. I was able to feed my entire family off this meal. We probably got about five, well, you guys could see, we got 5 really good pieces of salmon. I used about 10 mashed potatoes, and I got a pound of shrimp, honey. It's perfect.